fans, and welcome to Collins Corner, the River Ridge Football Podcast. I'm Dan Lipsey, and of course with me is Coach Mike Collins. I'd like to thank the Daily Draft for being our wonderful host, and also the River Ridge Booster Club board and members, some of whom are in attendance tonight. Coach, let's get to some highlights of the last couple of weeks. And we're back. Coach, let's get your insights on Woodstock and Pope games.
Well, we got off to a good start. Woodstock coming in undefeated. We knew it would be a tough challenge for us. Getting out ahead of them early in the game, I thought was huge. Our defense played a wonderful game. We were solid on special teams. Our offense was very explosive. So it was great to go 1-0.
And both these teams came in with some hype, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it was self-generated or not. But yeah, Pope too, when they came in. Yeah,
I think it was pretty legit. Both teams had good non-region records coming in. Pope came in off a huge Sprayberry win at their place, so I thought they were pretty legit, and they were. Our guys just able to kind of answer the bell when needed to. Again, getting out ahead of both of those teams I thought was tremendous for us.
Now, I don't want to jump to Q&A, but I've noticed that at home, at least the last 4 weeks, we have wanted to receive the ball first. Yeah. Is that by design?
Yeah, I like trying to get out ahead, putting our electric offense on the field. I think that's an advantage for us. I think the other team comes in, and I think part of the strategy is to keep our offense off the field. So we're trying to get as many possessions as possible. So in my eyes, why not take the first one if you have the opportunity to?
And I think it's helped. And also, first possession of the third quarter has helped a lot too.
Yeah,
Defensively.
yeah, it has. That's a crucial moment in the game. That end of the half and the beginning of the second half is a crucial moment in the game. And we had a 2-minute drill against Polk and was able to go down and score. And same with Woodstock. Both times we were able to go down and score in the 2-minute drill at the end of the half, and then come out in the second half and get some stops against Polk. We got some big turnovers at the beginning of the second half. I thought that just kind of put those guys away, so it was huge.
You're right. And some football traditionalists will say that's the turning point.
It is a crucial point.
Yeah, it is. All right, now let's hear from our wonderful sponsor.
For a healthier future together, look to Northside Hospital.
And we're back. Coach, let's get to the players of the games. For Woodstock, on offense, we had Grant Holly.
He had a very big game, 3 touchdowns, over 100 yards receiving.
He started off right, didn't he?
He did. It's just, it's just a tough matchup out there with him. Spec did a great job getting the ball, getting to him in space, and he was making some big plays for us. So definitely deserving of that player of the week for Woodstock.
Defense, I've been calling this name a lot this year. Mason McClendon.
Yeah, Mason's been solid. He's a 2-year start, started as a sophomore for us. Really solid plan on both sides of the ball. And he was in Woodstock's backfield all night, couple of sacks, like 3 or 4 tackles for a loss, 8 tackles registered. So great performance by him. And again, playing on both sides of the ball, I thought he's really stepping up for us this year.
And special teams, Cam Cox. Offensive, defensive, special teams now.
Yeah, he's becoming a rounded football player.
He's a Swiss Army now.
Yeah, it's one of his challenges in the offseason is let's become a total football player. And I had a big kick return in the Woodstock game and also had a couple tackles in special teams as well. Played solid defense, had a couple tackles for a loss. So it's a special teams award, but it's kind of an award for him playing a well-rounded football game.
It is. As a freshman, I was impressed with how he was putting on weight and working out and everything. Now as a junior, he's huge.
He really is. He's a gym rat. He loves the weights. He loves football, and he's a student of the game. I'm just glad to see him buy into playing on both sides and showing his versatility. Like we all knew he had it. He was a great receiver out of the backfield. He's a great running back, but we knew there was more in there. It's just really good to see him develop into a well-rounded football player.
Good. For Pope, let's start off with Offensive Player of the Week, and that was Micah Pugh. We talked about him before.
Young guy coming along, really showing what he can do. Another great receiver out of the backfield. He had over 100 total yards. It was like 60 yards receiving, I think, and like another 70 plus rushing.
He looks so natural in the flat.
He's so smooth. He's got great hands, runs great routes. He's tough to tackle in between the tackles, and another guy that's another really good defensive player as well that plays some special teams. So, we're just continuing challenging those guys to be well-rounded football players. He's one that's really buying into it. Such a joy to coach. So I'm happy to see him get that one.
For defense, Sam Vincent. I know why.
Yeah, we talked about Hope coming in. They had what a lot of people argue to be one of the, or if not the best, one of the best receivers in the state. And he's pretty legit. Sam was a big part of that, being able to see 0 catches against us. So he was a big part of that plan and able to step up and shut him down. Had 2 interceptions, 1 for a pick 6. Those crucial stops at the beginning of the second half was 2 interceptions by him. Another guy that also played some solid special teams, solid offense as well.
For special teams versus Pope, Hunter Lockerman.
Yeah, good to see him come around and make some plays. He's another guy that we know has big playmaking ability.
Yeah.
Call a punt. Wasn't supposed to run it back, but I guess, hey, you'll see your opportunity to seize it. So we did.
And that kid,
we're actually safe punt. We're a safe punt.
Wow,
so if you know anything about safe punt, then you know you're supposed to fair catch safe punt.
Yeah.
But he saw that as an opportunity to make a play. So
he's going to make a play.
So he made a great play on that, then scored his first touchdown of his career shortly after that, but he deserved it. Also plays on all the special teams. So glad to see him get that award. He's another guy that's a joy to coach and out of that standing game. He's having an outstanding game.
He really is. All right, now let's hear from another one of our great sponsors.
Hey, David Booth, General Manager at Schottenkirk Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, and we're back with the Wrangler raffle, and it's going to be bigger than ever. This is our 6th giveaway, and it's not too late to buy your raffle ticket. For only $5, you get a chance to win a brand new Wrangler, compliments of Schottenkirk Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. You've helped us raise over $1 million to support the band and athletic programs at all 6 area high schools. Thank you so much for all the support, and let's make it a great year.
And we're back. Coach, let's hear what you think about our next game versus Sequoia. They're coming off a loss to Spragueland.
Yeah, I think this is the first time in region play we're saying that about a team.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that this team is not legit. They're 4-1 for a reason. They've been ranked in the top 10 of the state for a good part of the season for a reason. They can run the football. They can throw the football. They have a really solid offense. Their offensive line is physical. They're going to be solid on their special teams. They're young on defense, but they're getting better. You can see their defense is getting better as the weeks go on. They have a great coaching staff. So we'll have our hands full. It's never an easy trip up to Hickman Flat, but we look forward to it. We'll have to be solid on our special teams. We'll have to tackle the ball very well. And eye discipline defense is going to be crucial because they do a lot of shifts, a lot of motions, a lot of guys running this way, but the ball's going the other way type of offense. So we'll have to be really sound and disciplined with our eyes, and we'll have to tackle them. And we need to stay electric on offense. Our offense has an opportunity to put pressure on their offense. So if we can do that, get our playmakers the ball in space, it should be a really fun night.
I don't know if you circled this date on the calendar. I don't need a kid playing, and I circled the date on the calendar. So this is big. This is the
I know it's a big game for our community, and that's not something that I shy away from.
Okay.
The kids know, but you try to tell the kids to keep the main thing the main thing. And the main thing is, look, just be the best version of yourself every day. Don't try to do anything extra. Don't worry about who we play. It's about you. Be the best version of yourself. But at the same time, I don't shy away from the fact that I understand that we're playing what you would deem to be a rival.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful about getting emotionally involved in that, because your emotions sometimes lie to you. We just talked about the importance of eye discipline on defense. So you go out there and play with all these rivalry emotions if you want to. You're going to find yourself out of position. So just try to keep the main thing the main thing. And enjoy. This is why you play high school sports. You know, to have your parents have an opportunity to go to a water cooler.
Right.
Good or bad, talk to the neighbor
right.
on a Saturday or a Monday morning. So
Yeah.
we're going to fun with it.
All right. Now let's hear from another one of our sponsors.
This high school football season, CDJR of Woodstock proudly celebrates the spirit of teamwork and dedication as a sponsor. With the largest selection of new and used vehicles in the greater Atlanta area and the largest dealership in square footage, CDJR of Woodstock is your destination for quality and service. Visit us today and discover why CDJR of Woodstock is more than a dealership. It's a community partner.
And we're back for our favorite segment, Q&A. Coach, are you happy with the way the team is playing so far?
I am. One of our goals is always to get better every week, because we know that's what the competition is going to do. We tell our guys, the team you see on film is not going to be the team you play. The team you're going to play is better than the team you see on film, because people get better every week. So our goal is to get better every week. And I feel like the last game we played is the best game we played. But the next game we play needs to be better than the last game we played. And so if we can continue to take those steps, I'm going to be pleased with the outcome.
You just ran into my follow-up. Anything that you would change or needs work? I mean, what are you guys improving on?
We have to get better in every phase of it. You have to be better in your kicking game. You have to be better in your blocking, better in your tackling, better in your pass defense. Every aspect of the game, you have to be better the next week. Because in this state, in this area, I promise you, your opponent is going to be. So the minute that you stay the same is the minute that they're going to be ahead of you. So we played a really good football game last Friday, but there's a lot of things we have to work on. We were out of position sometimes. We were fortunate. So we're going to try not to be out of position this weekend in those times.
That's true. I mean, Sequoia is a team where you can't be.
They'll take advantage of that. They'll take advantage of every false step you take, every false key you read. They'll take advantage of it. So
Do you see it coming down to turnovers at all or mistakes?
100%. It always comes down to winning the turnover battle, and it comes down to special teams.
Okay.
If you look at the last 2 games we played with these guys, we've had some special teams miscues, right?
I try not to think about that.
And if you go back to the game at their place, we snapped the ball. We had a missed snap on our punt game in a short field. And then we missed 2 field goals last year, and we dropped the punt last year. So we got to be really solid in our special teams, and we have to not turn the ball over. We had an early turnover last year against them. That was crucial. So we have to do that. And penalties. Some of the penalties you can't control. You got to hope that folks are fair and call what they see, and they're fair with that. Turnovers, penalties, and special teams.
You're going to have those mistakes as far as false starts, offside.
Yes,
you don't want the emotional ones, right? After the play. You don't want those.
That's fair. That's were you at a coach's meeting?
Yes, ma'am.
It sounds like
I know this team and I know this game.
It's a game of inches, so if you go give them a 15-yarder on emotions, you get them a lot of inches on your emotions. So, but I have so much confidence. I feel like we're past that with our team. They understand the importance of keeping their composure and not giving up that type of penalty. So I'm super excited about watching them play this game.
Now, this team is so focused. It really is. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I forgot what I wrote down for questions. But it really is. It seems like the seniors are, the juniors are, and then you got some of the younger guys coming in. They all seem focused.
Yeah, they are. They're super focused. And again, they're keeping the main thing. So they're fun to watch and fun to coach. And, I look forward to seeing them execute in this game. Whatever the outcome is, I think it will be. The fact is, we'll go play a rigorous type football game.
It'll be on the field and none of that outside noise,
That's right.
Noise.
Yes, sir.
Do you like the way the new players are contributing? We talked about Hunter Lockerman. He's just one of a few that you bring up. Yep, sure.
I think, the defensive player of the week for last week, even though Sam had 2 picks, there was a long discussion about our D-line play, which they played excellent. Pope had a great offensive line, the best we've seen so far this year. So like Harrison Darrisaw was brought up, like he was right there, almost player of the week. Andres Nash, another D-line, was almost player of the week. So some of those guys are Mason Gotch. Those guys are coming on. Really,
I'm still calling up Burdett's name.
Yeah.
Right.
The young Burdett coming in. Glad to get Simmons back.
That's right.
So all of those guys are contributing in a major way to the offense and defense. So super excited, man. We were hoping that this would be a really good group once our sophomores and juniors got together. So it's been fun to watch those guys too.
I got to talk about the weather now. Weather forecast doesn't look good. Don't know about Friday night. Thursday, Friday, it looks bad. Have you guys, is there any impact to practices, like changing any kind of game plans, more run versus pass, anything like that?
That's a really good question. We haven't changed anything game plan wise. We did ask parents to donate a lot of towels last week because the wet games are coming. But we're a spread offense. We'll stay a spread offense in the rain, in the sun. That's what we do. We'll make sure we got a good plan to keep the balls dry. And we won't worry about the things we can't control, but we're going to go play our football game, no matter how the weather is. So I prefer a dry night, but if it's wet, it'll be wet for both teams. So we'll go play football.
It seems like it's going to be wet for every team that's playing in Georgia.
It does.
With so much success early on now, how do you keep the momentum going, but also try to keep your players grounded and not get too ahead of themselves or too cocky, I guess is the word maybe?
Yeah, I think that that goes back to us focusing on the process that we go through every day, trying to win that day, that particular drill, as opposed to looking at the big picture. So it goes both ways. If your results don't come out the way you would hope that Friday, you still just go back to focusing on the process of the next week and being the best you can be that Monday at practice or in that Monday's film session. That's the only focus. It's not, we're not worried about outcome based until we sit down at the end of the year and rationalize the season. We just focus on the task at hand in that moment and being the best version of ourselves in that moment.
And you coaches being leaders,
Yeah.
keeping these kids, and they still are kids, you're keeping them grounded.
We try to keep them grounded. We enjoy it, man. We really enjoy Fridays after a win because it's really hard to win a football game in the state. Really hard. But I tell them, you got tonight or Friday night and then Saturday afternoon, it's time to get that locked in because we got to go back to work on Monday.
I think there's going to be, we'll see about this Friday. Are you friends with some of the referees? Do they come up to you? Do they say, "Hey, Mike"? Do you say, "Hey, Bob"? What's going on? I mean,
I don't know how to defend. It depends on how you define friendship, I guess.
I just, you know somebody.
I've been around for a long time. You
Okay.
know, gosh, I've started coaching in a long time ago.
Yeah.
And a lot of these guys, not only do they are they refereeing football, but I'm an old baseball guy, so a lot of them are umpires in baseball. So, you know, I've been around it for a long time. So, you know, we speak.
There's a history.
Yeah.
Now, if say your favorite is on the field and he throws,
I don't have a favorite.
especially if he doesn't call a penalty.
Right. You know what I'll say about those guys? You know, they're just like everybody else. I'm there trying to do the best I can, coach. They're there trying to do the best they can as far as officiating. And sometimes it doesn't go the way you, through your eyes, think that it should go. You know, but there's human error is a beautiful part of sports, man. So you just got to deal with it and keep rolling.
And it does keep it going.
Yeah,
absolutely. It does.
Absolutely.
Okay. After 4 home games in a row, it was great. I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Of course I did. How is the team preparing for this big road game?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Is there any kind of different messaging when you go out on the road, especially at a place like Sequoia, as opposed to being
the message on Monday was you've been there before. You're not going to a place you've never been. You know how you played at Sequoia. You know what the locker room's going to be like. You know what the fans are going to be like. It'll be a hostile environment, but we know we're going to travel deep too. So I expect it to be a 50-50 crowd as far as we're in Sequoia. But I did remind them that the last time we got on the buses and took a road trip, it didn't go very well for us. We didn't even recognize ourselves. And that was at the Cherokee game.
Okay.
So I think that has to be mentioned. So we have to figure out what was that thought process. We need to eliminate that, you know. But at the end of the day, it's a football game. Just because it's not a football game at the Ridge, it's still a football game. That was the message on Monday. We have altered our plans a little bit, getting a little earlier. So we kind of get there and get settled in. Hopefully that'll help our guys. So yeah, we're trying to attack things a little bit differently, knowing that we haven't traveled in a long time.
Is there much of a difference? I mean, River Ridge and Sequoia are very close. Is there much of a difference? I mean, you're on the bus for what, 15 minutes?
Yeah, I wish I could say no, Dan, but it seems like over the last couple of years, not just the Sequoia trip, but there's a distinct home field advantage in our league. Like you look at Pope that beat Sprayberry at Pope, and then Sprayberry beat Sequoia at Sprayberry. And it was kind of the same way last year and the year before that. So I think there's a distinct thing going on there. So we're hoping that we can break that this week. Because we have to go to not only to Sequoia, we have to Preview and Sprayberry. Those are 3 road trips, so it's time for us to kind of flip things up, change them around.
Yeah, that's true. I remember the road game versus Alatoona.
Yeah.
And then we had them at home.
Yeah, totally.
Nice to turn around.
Yeah,
it was
totally different. So.
Okay, well then, with home and road games, have you been surprised at any of the scores so far in this early season? Either with ours or Woodstock over Lassiter, Sprayberry over Sequoia, Creekview over Riverwood? Anything like jump out? Like
I would have.
They seem lopsided.
Yeah, I would have thought that Sequoia would have been the team I would have thought would have been chosen to win that one at Sprayberry.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I understand Sprayberry's got a really good football team. And I think they probably responded well after losing to a Polk team, which was the next surprise to me.
You're right.
But it was a surprise, but at the same time, I get it because Polk's so well coached and so physical, they have a phenomenal play. So I think you and I talked about it earlier in our first podcast. We're in a league where anybody can beat anybody, so I think that's what you're kind of seeing.
No, it's true. Polk football, they'll surprise you if you take them lightly. And I think a lot of people do take football lightly.
I do.
Because they're a baseball school, right?
Yeah, but I think that helped us. I think them beating Spraberry before they played us helped us with our kids.
Yeah.
I thought that was one of the best things that could have happened for us, for our kids to go, oh,
yeah, right.
we can't take these guys.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
It would allow it to happen.
Okay, that's a good point. How do you currently plan the development of like 9th grade teams to play and prepare for JV and varsity? Like they're, our young guys that are just coming in the program.
We start with our 8th grade. It probably starts in middle school. They come up and work out with us throughout the summertime. So it starts right there. I think the development starts with those guys. We're doing strength and conditioning, and we get some fundamental stuff in the summertime before we even get them to high school. Then they go through their 8th grade year, and then the spring actually of that, they come and do spring football with us as 8th graders. So it's kind of their first true introduction to us coaching them on the high school level. And then we're fortunate enough to get most of those guys, 99% of those guys actually have strength training and their health class with a football coach. They go back to back. So that speed development continues inside of our strength training class, our weight training class.
Okay.
So we do character ed in there, we do strength training, and we are able to hit some fundamentals in that classroom as well. And then, fortunate to have enough bodies, obviously, we have our 9th grade football season.
Yeah.
We'll pick a few of those guys to stay elevated, move up at the end of the year to continue to grow.
And I guess I got one last question from a parent. I don't know if I'll have one too, but if Coach Collins today could talk to Coach Collins, say 20, 25 years ago, what advice would you give him? Or any kind of wisdom you would pass down?
Don't do it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to tell you that. I would say stay the course. It's going to be a great ride. I think that the advice I would just stay the course, enjoy every day, which is what I've tried to do in my older years. I think younger, we would maybe win a game, and my immediate thought process would be to think about the next game, right?
Yeah.
So I would go back and tell him to take a moment and enjoy it more. Not only enjoy it more, but enjoy it more with the players that you have in that moment, because they're going to be gone really quick. You know what I mean? So I would tell that young coach, you have no idea how fast this 9th grader that you really enjoy coaching is going to be gone.
Yeah.
So enjoy the moment that you have with him, and the wins and losses. Enjoy that. Take a moment and just truly enjoy that, because it goes by extremely fast. And to me, it seems like just yesterday, I was a little receiver coach trying to learn how to coach football, trying to figure out what offense and defense was. So just tell them to slow down and make sure that you take all these moments in. You're really blessed with the opportunity to work with young people. So you're going to grow up and be gone before you know it.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest advice I would give you. And I think I know that now. I try to enjoy that now, but I wish I could go back and tell that younger coach too. You didn't realize it when you were young. So that's probably the biggest thing.
That's huge. All right, that is all we have for tonight. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Always fun. Always fun.
Again, we want to thank the Daily Draft for hosting us tonight, and for every podcast. They're great. It's a great place. You come visit Daily Draft downtown Woodstock, and we will see you again next time here on Collins Corner.